Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, as usual, I'm doing your reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So Sagittarius, your reading is very strange today, and it has this vibe, just like that movie, The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. So there is like this investigation of reality, of the world at large. And I feel like it has to do with some sort of optical illusion. And obviously this might be influenced because this weekend I just went to the Museum of Illusions. And it's interesting because it really shifts your perspective, right? It's like when you realize that there are so many different angles that you can perceive something, and when you change your angle, when you change your point of view, it changes the entire meaning of what you're looking at, of what you're perceiving. And I feel like that's what's going on with you, Sagittarius. It feels like you're looking at the world and you're just having this odd feeling that it's not mirroring exactly what you thought, or it's like it's strange, right? Something is strange. And I feel like the guidance here for you is just allow yourself to be in that investigation, in that mental process of trying to figure out something that you cannot completely like define whether or not what you're seeing is true or not, right? Truth is here, and I feel like it is going to find you. It's going to propel you forward, but it's almost like just marinate, just yield in this feeling of not knowing exactly what you're seeing. Okay, so we're beginning with the World card, obviously, which symbolizes, your spirit, your free spirit, your adventurous and very just free spirit, right? It's like this liberated feeling of just going wherever you want, and finding it fun, finding it joyful, and just expansive, right? It's like this ride of a lifetime is what I'm hearing right now. But the way that I was seeing this world, you see this central line, which is the only straight one, right? The vertical here in the middle is splitting the world into two, right? So these two halves, they are kind of like the other is mirroring one, or vice versa. It's almost like this straight line here is a mirror, and whatever is going on this side is actually going to translate as the entire world the same way for the other side, right? So whatever is going on here, it's going to translate as the whole world is like that. So it's almost like something like trends, or I don't know if this is something that I feel myself, or if this is something that is happening globally, but whenever I feel like my immediate environment is like following some sort of trend, or has like this predominant energy of chaos, or delight, or awareness, or whatever it is, it's almost like for me that is my translation of what is happening at the world at large. And this is what I feel like you're starting to investigate more clearly, in a much more detailed way, right? So it's almost like you're trying to understand if the two halves, they are actually like in this synchrony, or in this in the same tone, right? Vibrating in the same tone, or is it that one half, it's actually just seeing its own reflection on this mirror, and then this kind of like this very limited way of perceiving, right, is making this one half believe that the entire world is just like that, and the same goes for the other side, right? So if we were to translate this in terms of how polarity works, right, in this plane, in this 3D dimension, it's like we take the whole for a part, right? So this is what I feel like you're trying to understand. It's like you're not trying to judge or state or affirm which one is best or not. It's more like, okay, so how is this one perceiving the whole? How is this side perceiving the whole, right? So there is this optical illusion going on, and it's like there is this intense study on your part, because you're showing up here as the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords here is coming through as like a very fresh student, like a very fresh mind. It's almost like maybe this is the first time that you have ventured in this direction, right? That you have analyzed the world in this frame, in this perspective, right? Asking those types of questions, like how polarity works, how division works, how reflection works, how, mirrored realities work, all of those big things, right? But in a very global scale. And that's the reason why it can be a little bit overwhelming, to be honest, because this Page of Swords is almost like it's kind of like a big thing, right, for you to take on. It's almost like, a child going to university. So it's like you're asking things, you're questioning things that, perhaps maybe at some point you're going to feel like you don't have all the information. It's like you're not as prepared or as well informed, well educated perhaps, to have an answer. But the thing about this reading, Sagittarius, is that it's not about the answer. It's actually about touching both sides. So the Nine of Pentacles coming next. The meaning of this card today is one that I've seen, I feel like not necessarily with the Nine of Pentacles, although it might have been, but I can't remember. But the image that I was seeing with this card was you, like in the middle here, this pentacle in the middle of these two sides. And this is exactly that gap. It's like this straight line where this mirror is placed. And it's almost like people rarely go to this middle point, to this path that is like this straight line, right, in between the two halves. They prefer the sidelines. It's like the world at large, like humanity, society, people, like maybe people around you. It's like they prefer to take sides, right? It's like they don't like to be in the center, because the center is too, like very, what is the word? Unstable, but it's precarious. Right? It's very precarious. And here on the sidelines, it's like this is where the two margins are more stable, are more solid. It's almost like going, some recent images of earthquakes that I've seen, splitting Earth into two, right? Especially like with this imagery of the two halves. And here you are in the center. It's almost like you're investigating the gap, right? Which is interesting, because it's almost like people are afraid to get to that point. So you are in the center and you're trying to touch both sides. And it's reminding me of this other image of the two tectonic plates that connect Europe and Asia, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it's in Turkey. I can be completely wrong. I'm feeling pretty much like this, right? It's almost like I don't have all the information, but I have like this very intriguing imagery that is coming through my mind, and I want to know more, right? Even though I don't have all the facts, I don't have all the names, all the numbers, I do have like this interest to investigate something that is beyond what people have come to. It's almost like people have come as far, to the edge as possible and have created stability. But in between, it's almost like it's this, what is the word? Inhabitable. Like you cannot live there, you cannot go there, you cannot, it's not like this livable place, right? It's not healthy, it's not safe, it's not, it's dangerous, right? It's like people come to the edge but not beyond. And you're going beyond. It's like you're trying to investigate both sides. It's like you want to be in the middle so that you can touch both sides, touch both tectonic plates at the same time, you know, be in two continents at the same time. That's how you're going to connect with this, you know, larger scale of reality. So, and you're doing so in a way that it can be very physical because of the Pentacles, right? But here, the interesting thing, Sagittarius, is that the guidance is don't stay stuck too much in this in-between, because it's almost like this crack is meant to be like this very uncharted territory, right? It's like it's meant to fortify the edges, but you're trying to bridge the gap. You're trying to connect that. And with the Two of Wands, it's like the guidance is for you to just let go of that. Let go of trying to connect that physically, trying to be in two places at once, trying to, you know, maybe use all of your resources to go beyond what everybody who's been in a similar situation has gone, right? And so just take those steps forward instead of being here, because I feel like at some point the Nine of Pentacles becomes this stuck energy, right? It's almost like if there was this crack that split the earth into two, it's almost like that crack is going to become very narrow. It's going to become very compressive, very claustrophobic perhaps, right? So the Two of Wands, it's like this liberation, the liberation steps. And I feel like this has to do with your goal in a sense, or your like, what is this flame that like instigates you? Why do you have such interest in knowing more about this reality, in knowing more about humanity or the world or other cultures, you know, different continents, and, you know, the history of the planet and the geography of the planet and the transformations and the splitting of the earth? It's like, just take steps forward beyond the gap, beyond the crack. It's like you don't have to do this investigation by going there. It's like you can use your imagination, because the Two of Wands, to me, it's this exercise of, you know, opening your third eye and visualizing what you want to see. So here it's very literal, right? It's like you trying to bridge that gap, like physically maybe, or, you know, just, however you want to see, like the use of your resources going down to that use, going down to that desire to understand this, right? So whether it is like, you know, buying books or buying courses or taking trips or, you know, investing in studying, right? It's almost like use your imagination, use your power to visualize, because that's how you're going to understand this without having to be in between and in a very uncomfortable place between the two streams, the two not streams, the two edges, right? The two sides, because it's almost like they are similar but they are separated, and maybe they like each side focuses on the distance, on the difference, instead of the similarities. And this is perhaps what you start to see when you are in this position, when you start putting your money, your energy, your attention towards this, towards being right in the middle. But here the guidance is take steps, you know, of freedom, of liberation, beyond having to use your limited resources, is what I'm hearing, to go there. It's like you don't have to go there. It's like you can access it's almost like you can access this through like Google Earth, right? It's like you can do this investigation without having to put any of your money, and just like it's almost like perfect your skills in visualization, because I feel like that's going to bring you this aha moment, which is the Ace of Swords. So if here you felt like you were undertaking some sort of very big endeavor, or just trying to answer like a very, very big question, and feeling like maybe you don't have all the information, or you don't have the skill set, you don't have the ability to perceive, it's like the Ace of Swords comes when you start to understand that you don't have to do this physically. It's like you don't have to do this through the 3D plane. You can do this using your mind. You can do this using your soul, your energy, your focus, right? It's like open your third eye and hear this aha moment. This answer is going to pop in, giving you a clear direction. And it's interesting because the clear direction is actually kind of like a choice, because if the nines to me represent the individual path, and here you are trying to connect two sides, trying to bridge this gap, to unite polarities, right? Or to bring those two edges to like this common point, and the crack is still open because nobody wants to like dare to go there, and you're the one daring. But if this is the best way to go, right? By not going there, by not like exhausting your physical resources, but rather just emphasizing the fact that you can do this using this very invisible but powerful tool that you have, which is your imagination. And it's going to bring you this clarity, this truth of what is exactly that you're seeing, right? What is the duality? What is the polarity that you're seeing? Why is this line that, people are maybe drawn to but afraid to go there? And here the 10 of Wands is the shared path. But the 10 of Wands, if you've heard me talk about this card before, you know that beyond the struggle, especially being the 10, being this shared path, maybe one person can be carrying the load of the other. That's not typically what I see. I see this beautiful potential of a shared path, and it's meant to be this path filled with flowers. So, and it's meant to be seen by you and others, right? It's not just you who dares to go there. It's like you're meant to use your imagination, use your power to visualize like this earth that actually comes together, right? Instead of, seeing a reflection that is not exactly the whole truth. But knowing that, it's like it's almost like you can course correct that. Because what this is talking about is that knowing what you know now, even though you might not know all, or you might not know everything, right? Maybe you have this feeling that you could know more and more and more. It's like there's always something missing, right? It's almost like it's never enough, like the amount of knowledge that you carry. It's almost like the earth is so big, the universe is so big, that it's always like something new to learn. But with what you do know, and what brings you this aha, this epiphany, is that you don't have to keep on looking at the world in a way that it's like, you carrying the burdens for humanity, or humanity carrying your burdens, or vice versa. It's almost like, don't see the two sides as enemies or as opposites. It's like, we're in this together, right? And if it's meant to be a shared path, may it be this beautiful potential for everyone, right? May these flowers blossom so that everyone can enjoy this path. from wherever they are, whether they are on the sidelines, whether they are venturing this middle path like you are. And I feel like you come to this conclusion, which may sound very, very simple and very transformative in a way, because it ends a cycle of struggle, a cycle of hardship and challenges, and pointing fingers and blaming and all of that, and feeling guilty, and feeling just deceit or sadness or whatever it is, to a time of finding that is actually like this bridge that propels you and the ones that are daring to go in the middle with you, right? Through this potential, like through this invisible way of connecting, right? It's like you don't have to actually go there in between the two tectonic plates to unite both sides. It's like you can do so using your mind, the power of your mind. That's like the truest that you can get, instead of trying to figure out from different angles what exactly is that you're seeing, so that you don't have to repeat this same kind of burdensome way of existing. So the Four of Swords, it's actually talking about how if you just yield in that, if you just allow yourself to have some time thinking that thought, right? Because here, you see here how there are 3 dots. So whatever you're seeing, you are trying to connect the dots. So here are 3 dots, which you already have, plus this ace. It's like the 4th sword, which puts you in this place of just thinking things through and trying to understand what is this epiphany that you just received. So it's almost like receiving a download of something that is not, it's like, it is exactly what you're seeing, but it's the potential that lies beneath, that is underneath this superficial layer of earth, right? So it's not a mere reflection, it's actually what's underneath that reflection. So it's almost like trying to look through the mirror and understand the whole through that, instead of just taking it for granted, right? So just yield in that, marinate in that, allow yourself to have some time to think things through of what is exactly that you're seeing and what is that you're receiving about this reality, the truth of this reality. So Sagittarius, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes. So if you want to join me in the extended, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.